everybody. So a couple of people requested that we do a Q&A, which is kind of bizarre to me because I don't know. Why do you guys want to know about us?
Yeah, weirdos.
Woo! We went on social media. We went on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things, and we asked you guys to send us questions, and shockingly, people actually sent us questions. So we're going to answer some of your questions now.
Let's get started. So we got a lot of questions from a lot of different people. Some of you asked the same questions. Some of you asked some pretty unique questions. We got questions about horses, about the work I do, about Disney, some random stuff, and yeah, we're going to try and cover all of them.
Amanda Burgess, who we actually kind of know, she wants to know what is our favorite Disney park and why.
Epcot, because of the food.
Hollywood Studios pre-ruinedness that they've done to it is my favorite. I liked it back when they had the backlot tour and everything. Do you have a favorite ride?
My ride's obviously Toy Story Mania, and I can't wait to ride it tomorrow.
My favorite ride is the Tower of Terror, which is just weird.
Because it was your least favorite ride?
For a very long time, but now I love it. Can you take me on your next trip? Yes, be there tomorrow, and we'll see you there. The Untouchable one asked a question specifically to me, which is how come you've lived in so many countries? And which country was your favorite to live in? My parents were actually missionaries for a while, so that's why we moved around a lot and that kind of thing. We lived in a lot of different countries. For those of you who don't know, I grew up all over the world. The hardest question in the world you could possibly ask me is which country was my favorite to live in, because they were all different and unique in their own ways. Like, I loved them all. I really did. Every country I loved for different reasons. She also asked Matthew, what was the name of your favorite llama when you had them?
So I don't remember all of the names of the llamas that we had. There was like Sir Lancelot, like all the weird names you would name llamas, but there was this one really big one, like super big for a llama, and his name was Kevin. So,
Kevin?
Yeah.
That's the best!
I'm pretty sure Kevin was my favorite llama.
Brian Spencer asked us several questions on YouTube. The first one is for you. It is, what is Drupal and what do you do with it?
So I make websites, that's my job, and to make a website you do programming stuff and you do make it look good stuff and you design it, and there's all this work that goes into it. And every time you build a website you don't want to do it from scratch necessarily. So Drupal is a tool that lets you build on top of a framework that makes it really easy to make websites.
What is your current vlogging setup? For the most part, what is my camera?
Canon G7X.
What he said. Canon G7X.
The cameras we currently use are the Canon G7X, which is Amanda's daily point and shoot. We use Amanda's Galaxy S6 phone, which does good video. My Galaxy S7 phone does good video. We have a Canon T4i that we're shooting on right now. And then we have a GoPro that's been tricked out and modded with a faceplate and a lens and a gimbal and all this stuff.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
Flower and Garden Festival or Food and Wine?
Food and wine. Like, don't get me wrong, Flower and Garden is 10 times better than any normal Epcot day, but Food and Wine is like 50 times better.
We're foodies. Mm-hmm. We're real foodies. Which leads us into our next question, which is, what is your must-have Disney meal?
Ohana bread pudding is the best ever.
That's not a meal, that's just part of the
Hey, it could be a meal if you want it to be, because you can go to the bar at Ohana now and get an individual size. So I get an individual size for me, and an individual size for Amanda, and then I eat mine, and then I eat hers.
It's true, he's done that.
And it's delicious.
For me, again, also Ohana.
Yeah.
I also like Sanaa. Sanaa is my new other favorite. It's really good. It's a like Indian/African fusion kind of place at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
It's quite delicious.
Kirani Village is really good. What have you enjoyed most about vlogging this past year? For me, it's been the ability to go back and look at these things. Like, I probably watch these vlogs as much, if not more, than you guys. Like, I go back and I watch these videos all the time. It's fun to go see what we were doing this time last year when we had just first moved here.
For me, besides the, nerding out with the camera stuff, meeting you guys online, engaging in the community it's brought for us, and the ability to go back and, see. We've been doing this for over a year now, so, seeing what I was doing this time last year is really, really cool. In case you're wondering, Amanda's not creepy. She has a dog.
Nobody's gonna do something for the very end. VIARAG721 asked, how long have you been riding and what age did you start? How did you get into horses? When did you get your first horse and what breed was it? This is all going to be kind of a story, that's when I said all the questions. So basically I was born in Hong Kong, I lived in South Korea when I was little. We lived in Seoul, which is a very large city, and in Seoul there are very few horses. So I got into horses, you know, just like every little girl. I had a horse phase and I just never outgrew mine. Mine started when I was what, like 8 or something, and I couldn't have horses, so I had little toy horses. And we ended up moving to the Netherlands, and when my dad first went over to go check it out, I asked him to take pictures of the horses for me. So when he came back, he brought me all these pictures of the horses, and basically our deal was I was really upset about leaving Korea, but they told me I could take riding lessons. So we moved to the Netherlands, I started riding. I think I was 10 when I started riding there, and when I started learning to ride, I learned to ride in Dutch-ish, English-ish, like it was somewhere in between, and so I still have issues today where sometimes I'll be having a riding lesson and my instructor will say something and I'll have to figure out what it is because I only know the term in Dutch. It's really bizarre. But anyway, I started riding when I was in the Netherlands. We lived there for about 2 years, and then we moved to England, and when we moved to England, I started leasing horses, except there they call it loaning horses. So I started taking horses on loan, and I did that for a long time. And here's a fun fact. I did not get my first horse that we owned until I was, what, 21, 22? Matthew bought me my first horse. So I had leased horses up until that point, and Gracie is actually the first horse I've ever owned. So that's kind of a fun fact. I've had leased horses forever, but Gracie's the first horse that's actually been mine. So that's kind of special. So my first horse was a Gypsy Vanner. Matthew, when did you get your first horse?
I got my first horse shortly after, about a year after Amanda got her first horse. It was when we moved from our first house where we were boarding Gracie to a home where we brought Gracie home, and we couldn't just have her alone, so we went out and found a quarter horse stroker who, he was 11 at the time and he needed a home. He was not necessarily retired, but the owner just didn't have
she had other horses.
Yeah, so that's when I got my first horse.
Yeah, and that's when he started learning to ride too.
Mm-hmm.
He and Stroker were good buddies for a long time. They rode all the time.
We're still good buddies.
I know. But that leads us into our next question, which Naomi Knappenberger, I hope I didn't say your name wrong, I'm sorry, asked, does Matthew also ride, or is the true horse lover just Amanda?
Amanda is the true horse lover, but I do know how to ride.
Matthew likes to trail ride.
Yeah, I'm a trail rider. I don't do anything fancy. I don't care if the horse looks good while he's doing it. And that's why Stroker and I got along when we rode together. Because I didn't expect anything from him except forward, back, left, and right. And jump the occasional log so we could both feel pretty cool about it.
Oh yeah. I think the last horse you rode was Anthem.
Yeah.
And we actually do have video footage of him riding because he rode Anthem in one of the vlogs. So I will try and link to that. Here.
Yeah, the other day when we were at the show with Anthem,
yeah.
I helped on him.
Oh yeah, he rode Anthem at the show too. I forgot about that. Olivia Roos wants to know, what were both of your first jobs? What was your first job, dear?
Well, my first jobs, I guess, were with my father when I was a kid, and I got paid delivering phone books, helping him tow cars, snow plowing. So I was pretty young at that point, but in high school, my senior year, I had an internship at a recording studio, and then I think my first real job was in New Hampshire, where I was that annoying guy at the kiosk trying to sell cell phones.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was my first real job, but that was still a college job.
My first job was working at Sonic. I went home every day smelling like a giant onion ring. I hated it. Also, I'm pretty sure I got kind of fired because one day they made me stay like 4 hours after my shift ended. They wouldn't let me leave because somebody else hadn't shown up, and I had to go, and they hadn't let me go to the bathroom all day, and yeah, it was awful. I hated it so much. But that's when we first met. I was working at Sonic. It was so bad. It was awful. Olivia Roos also asked, is being a YouTuber your favorite so far? I wish this was a job, but it's not.
Yeah, it has its ups and downs, you know, when it's natural. Yeah, so I don't always shoot as much video as Amanda because I'm typically in my office typing away and busy all day long, and you know, I always feel like that'd be boring. I'm typing on my computer now. Hey, still working.
It's a weird thing because I think in a lot of ways, like, it kind of pushes you to do more with your day. For me anyway, like, it kind of pushes me to, like, I'm gonna do something extra today because I don't want the blog to be boring, because, you know, we do the same thing every day. We get up, we work, and then we hang out together, and then we go to bed, you know? So it's kind of been a neat, like, way of sort of pushing us out of that regular thing. But at the same time, it's also really hard, because some days you are just doing the same thing, and I'm always worried about boring you guys. I'm always worried about making the blog boring.
She is always worried about making the blog boring.
He's like, whatever, this is our life, whatever.
We have fun weekends, and sometimes we have boring weekdays. But that's life. That's who we are, that's what we do.
Yeah, this is the realest reality TV you'll ever see. Our SeaWorld Adventures wants to know, what is your favorite Disney character? Who's your favorite Disney character?
Flynn Rider.
Elliot.
He's good.
I love Elliot. Pete's Dragon is the best.
Thank God it's not Gaston.
No lie. Holly Hibbs wants to know, why are you such amazing YouTubers? And that was a very sweet thing to say.
Because we're awesome.
I think that's really kind. I don't know that we're amazing.
And because of these.
I don't know that we're amazing YouTubers because, like I said, our life is pretty boring and we pretty much just daily vlog. But thank you, that's really kind. We love you. We love you. Make a heart with me. Oh, I spilled butter on the ground. On Instagram, Bubble4041 asks, I know you and Gracie appeared as guests at Briarfest one year. How familiar are you with Briar, and what was the best part about the trip? I actually never had Briars. I don't think I owned a single Briar. And the reason for that is because we lived overseas and they didn't sell them overseas, but what I did have were Grand Champion horses. So I don't know if any of you have ever had Grand Champion models. I don't think they even make them anymore. I had hundreds of those things, so I never had Briars. But we received a really cool opportunity, like she said, to go to Briarfest and be one of the exhibitors, and it was really, really fun.
It was adorable.
It was the best. It's one of the best things.
Thousands of children coming up to Gracie and saying how pretty she is and getting photos with her.
Petting her and getting her cookies.
There were such sweet moments because Gracie is just an amazing horse, and she would be so sweet to these little girls. There was this one child that was in a wheelchair, and
like big, rolly, clunky electronic thing, and I'm looking at this thing going, she's gonna spook. She's gonna spook. She's gonna fly to the back and stall. She's never gonna.
They rolled it right up to the edge, and the door was open, and it was just the rope across the doorway, and Gracie just gently came forward and put her little head in his lap and stood there, and it was the sweetest.
She just sat there and nuzzled him. It was the sweetest thing ever.
We have great photos of that.
We really do.
Maybe Amanda will show them right now.
Yeah. She did that with several kids though. There was this one little girl, she was tiny, and she just, like, bold as she could be, walked up and just hugged Gracie, and Gracie just wrapped her little head around her, just gave her this big hug. It was adorable. I think the best part was just seeing.
Gracie loved it. I think she had a great time.
I would love to do that again. Briar, let us know, because we will totally come back and we will bring everybody. That was really fun. Everything about it was my favorite part. Mostly meeting people though. That was really fun. She also asks, what aspects of horse ownership keep you inspired to continue, and how were you introduced to horses? I think I kind of went over my horse story already, but I will tell you about a couple of specific horses, and the answer to your first part of that question, what aspect of horse ownership keeps you inspired to continue, is just, I love my horses. My horses are like my friends, you know, it's less of a tool and more of a friend. You know, I just love my horses, and you know, like Gracie, you know, Gracie's the kind of horse, I will have that horse until the day she dies, hopefully very, very, very long time from now. You know, I get really attached. To me, it's not I can't do the whole buy one, train it, sell it, buy one, train it, sell it, that kind of thing. Like, I can't do that. I buy a horse and I buy a horse for life. A couple of my first horses I will tell you about. One of my favorite riding school horses back in the Netherlands, his name was Leafior. And he was a little chestnut pony of some sort, and I loved him to death. And I went to pony camp with him, and I had a great time with him. The first horse that I ever leased, her name was Tessa, and she was way too much horse for me, but I loved her to death. And then one of my favorite horses growing up, her name was Becky, and she was a 12-2 jumping pony, and she was nuts, but also awesome. Like, you could jump 4 foot on this little 12-2 pony, and she just, anything you put in front of her, she just flew over it. She was awesome. Spud, my special Spud, when I was in college, or university there, I stayed in England for university for a year, and while I was doing that, I was partly seen a pony named Spud, and he was actually not a pony. He was huge, and he was a big Irish Draft, Cross, Gypsy, Cob, something or other. He was adorable, and he was really special too. What is Matthew's favorite breed of horse?
I don't know if I have a favorite breed of horse. I like quarter horses, I guess, because of Stroker. Stroker's the first horse I've ever had, so I guess I like quarter horses. Marion Sugar wants to know, what are your future plans for Bella, and will you ever go to NC for a show?
So my hope for Bella is that she will be my dressage horse. My trainer found her for me, and her view on the whole thing is that Bella has Grand Prix potential eventually, and so that's kind of what she is she's a Grand Prix prospect. I don't know if I'll ever actually be able to do that, but I hope that someday I'll be able to do it, and it would be really cool if I could do it with Bella. That's obviously a very long journey, especially because she's quite green still. I mean, we're still walk dry cannon right now, but hopefully eventually dressage. Dressage is the goal. USDF showing. As far as showing in North Carolina, I would love to. We actually do a gypsy show there, or we usually do a gypsy show there. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it this year, but we might make it next year.
In Williamston.
In Williamston, North Carolina. And we go to North Carolina all the time because that's where we used to live. So.
We'll be there in August for my birthday. Happy birthday to me!
Happy birthday to the ground!
KimBob13 wants to know, since y'all started vlogging, have you had any weird responses or reactions when filming in public, for example at horse shows, Disney World, conventions, or stores? I typically get the, at conventions when I'm doing lots of vlog footage and people see my weird rigs. I get a lot of questions about it, and they ask me, my friends, what are you doing? And I say, I'm a daily vlogger, and we go into that conversation. So now that we've been doing it for over a year, and I've gone to so many conventions at this point, a lot of them know that I daily vlog, and some of them watch, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if we get any weird...
I think the main one we get is, like, if we're at Disney or something and we're rocking around with camera, we get people that ask, do you want us to take a picture?
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, no, we're vlogging, we're video.
Thank you.
And the other one is like, if we're doing scenic shots or something, like if I'm just filming Disney, people will like stop over here and they'll just be like waiting for me to take my picture, and it's like, no, go ahead, you can keep vlogging. And I've done that before where I'm holding the camera and I'm just going, keep going. So the background of some of those Disney montage shots is me going, go ahead.
And we've gotten our fair share of photo bombers when we're trying to record ourselves, and sometimes they're doing things we can't put in the clips, so that's kind of lame. But no, it hasn't been too bad so far.
No. I think people wonder about it. But I think enough people now know about YouTube that I just assume that's what we're doing.
KimBob13 also wants to know, what's your favorite thing about filming a vlog every day? Well, my favorite thing is I don't have to edit it, so that's pretty awesome.
That's true. I edit the vlog. Most of the time I edit the vlog.
Sometimes I'll edit.
He just works all the time, so it's nice if I do that part of things.
Yeah, I don't know, it's fun. Like we talked about earlier, engaging with you guys. I really do feel at this point that when I'm recording in the clip, I'm talking directly to you guys. And it was hard in the beginning to record like that. I had to imagine that I was talking to my friend Jeff or Steve, and I'd just pretend like, all right, I'm talking to Jeff, he's in New York, this is who I'm talking to right now, and now I know I'm talking to you guys. So
that's funny, I had forgotten about that. I remember you specifically being like, who am I talking to? And I was just like, just pretend you're talking to Jeff. And it worked. Matthew Pfeiffer, he asked, how did you two come up with the idea and the thought to start a vlog? We've been watching YouTubers forever, and forever we've been thinking, we could do that, that would be cool. It would be cool to have that record. And so when we were moving to Florida, we just kind of went, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. I mean, this is a cool time, this is a neat transition period in our life. It'd be cool to have a record of it. Let's just do it. So we did.
Yeah.
The last question that we have actually was asked by a lot of you, like 4 or 5 different people asked us this. They wanted to know how we met. So here it is, here's the big reveal, and I say that only because there's actually members of our family that don't even know this, because when we met, it was still kind of an unusual way, and like I think there were a lot of questions about the safety of it and that sort of thing. But we met on the internet.
Yeah, we met on ChristianMingle.com.
It's true.
Yeah.
And neither of us paid for it.
Nope.
Yeah, we started talking on Christian Mingle, except we couldn't actually talk to each other. So Matthew like sleuthed his way and found my DeviantArt page and started talking to me on there. It was like this whole thing. And then the crazy part is we figured out that we had some mutual friends, which is just crazy. We had that weird like, which is more crazy if you think about the fact that I lived in London prior to us meeting, and he's from Boston, and we met in North Carolina.
And Amanda had only been in the United States for like 2 months, 3 months when we met online, and we actually only knew each other online for a good month and a half before we ever actually met in person.
So that is our Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any more questions, maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, let us know. We'll, answer some more questions in the comments. And
yeah, if you have any more questions that we didn't get to or anything like that, just ask them down here. And we always read every comment that you guys post, and we reply to most of them.
Guys, thank you so much for watching our videos. You're really, at this point, the reason we're doing it. Watching ourselves is really cool, but engaging with you is the best. Thank you for subscribing. A lot of you watch these videos and you're not subscribed, so hit that little button. It means you get notified when, new videos come out. And thanks for thumbs upping this video, because you guys are awesome.
Here's a thumbs up for you. We're gonna go to bed now because we have to get up early and go to Disney World tomorrow. We're gonna go to 3 parks, so make sure you're there.